This is the story of a girl named Ellen who was driving alone on a deserted mountain road under a full moon with forests stretching out on both sides. Out of nowhere, her radio stopped working, and as she tried to fix it, her focus drifted away from the road. That's when she crashed into a car that was parked on the roadside. The impact knocked her unconscious, and from there, we're taken into her past. These flashbacks will keep coming up, so let me first walk you through her backstory. Ellen had once gone on a blind date and met a guy named Bruce. She was instantly drawn to him. He was interesting and a bit different from anyone she'd known. They started dating and everything seemed great. Eventually, Bruce proposed and Ellen said yes. They got married, but that's when things started to go downhill. Bruce, a retired soldier, was obsessed with adventure and survival. He talked about it constantly, and eventually, he even pushed Ellen to start training like him, like shooting guns, using knives, fighting. Ellen had to learn all these things from Bruce, which she probably did not need. But Bruce said that all these things will be needed in the future. He thought that something will happen in which they will have to do all this to survive. Maybe the apocalypse. Her fear increased so much that she sold her house in the city and bought a house in isolation where it was very difficult for Ellen to live, but she never complained. But later the situation became so bad that nothing came to Bruce's mind except useless fears because instead of staying at home, he used to roam around and guard the house day and night. His behavior towards Ellen had also changed. There was no such thing as love left. He just wanted to see how much Ellen was progressing. Tired of all this, one day Ellen finally told him that she did not want to live with him. From that day onwards, the paths of these two parted. So this was Ellen's past, which is shown to us repeatedly in between, so I told it all at once, so that the thrill of the story doesn't reduce. Now let's get to the main part of the story. When Ellen regained consciousness, the first thing she did was try to start her car, but it wouldn't turn on. So she grabbed her phone and stepped out to check on the driver of the other car, but there was no one inside. The whole car was smeared with blood, and the trail of blood led across the road and down into the forest. Ellen called out, and suddenly, someone appeared in front of her. She thought it might be the other driver, but as she got closer, she realized it was a disfigured man who looked more like a monster. He was dragging the other driver. As soon as Ellen turned around, the man came charging at her. Because his face looked like the moon, he was known as Moonface. When he lunged at Ellen, his phone dropped to the ground. He figured she'd be an easy target, but he was dead wrong. Ellen was fully trained to handle situations like this. Bruce had made sure of that. She dodged Moonface and ran into the forest with him chasing after her, wielding a bizarre-looking knife. She managed to squeeze through a tight spot and put some distance between them, buying a little time while Moonface tried to follow. Seizing the moment, Ellen set a trap using a pair of scissors. And as soon as Moonface reached, the scissors pierced her face, but luckily her eye was saved. Otherwise there would have been another crater in the moon. The crater reminded me that there was a crater in front of Ellen, and she narrowly escaped from falling in it. But she saw an opportunity in that crater. She buried a pointed log in that crater and covered it with bushes, so that a moon could be formed in Moonface's body as well. Then using a blade, she set a trap behind her, assuming that he might not come from the front. But once trapped in the trap, Moonface had understood all of Ellen's tricks. That's why, instead of not coming himself, he sent the driver, who fell into the crater as soon as she came, and the log penetrated her thigh. By the way, the effects given by Greg Nicotero are quite good. Well, what was thought happened, Moonface came from behind, but all the things did not go according to plan, because Moonface triggered the trap, but the blade entered Ellen's shoulder in the opposite direction. But seeing Ellen's cleverness, Moonface was quite surprised. Now, as much as he was getting surprised, Ellen ran away from there. Now the driver who was shouting in the pit was told by Moonface to keep quiet in his signature style. Something like this. While running, Ellen stumbled upon a place where dead bodies were lined up like some kind of twisted decoration. All of them had their eyes gouged out, letting the moonlight shine through the empty sockets. The path she was on, creepy and unsettling, led straight to a house that sat dangerously close to a deep ravine, with a river flowing far below. By now it was clear this house belonged to Moonface, who had been kidnapping and killing anyone unlucky enough to pass through that area for who knows how long. Unfortunately, Ellen realized it too late. Just as she thought about turning back, Moonface showed up at the house with the driver in tow, and the moment she saw him coming, Ellen herself fainted. When Ellen regained consciousness, she found herself tied up in the basement of the house. The room was filled with a gruesome collection of corpses, but there was one man still alive. His name was Buddy, played by Angus Scrimm, the same actor who portrayed the main villain in the Phantasm franchise. Buddy was rambling like a madman, but the strange part was that Moonface had spared him. Maybe it was because of his insanity, and if Moonface let him live because of that, maybe there was a chance he'd spare Ellen because of her intelligence. After all, she had already impressed him once. There was even a possibility Buddy was Moonface's father, though Moonface didn't seem entirely human. Buddy explained that he was the one who gave him the name Moonface, even though Moonface hated it. He also revealed that the women who came before Ellen had tried to seduce Moonface, hoping he'd let them go. But that only made him furious. He ended up killing all of them. That's why he seemed to respect Ellen, because she didn't act weak or desperate. Buddy said something else too. The eyes, they show us everything we don't want to see. That's why he takes them out first. Then he told her she was lucky that he didn't remove the eyeballs from her eyes yet, or maybe it was just that Moonface was off somewhere busy. Apparently he travels far to get rid of his victims' vehicles, which is likely why he's never been caught. No one's ever been able to trace anything back to him. While they were talking, we could see where Moonface was busy. He was getting a girl's corpse ready for display, breaking her arms and legs and nailing them in place. Meanwhile, her soul was screaming loudly, but only Moonface could hear it. That's why he kept motioning for someone to stay quiet. After tightly binding the body, he set it up on the path. The screaming didn't stop, so he signaled the soul to be quiet again. Maybe these voices were just in Moonface's head, an illusion, because when he kills someone and gouges out their eyes, their screams seem to get stuck in his mind. After that, he went straight to the basement, and as soon as he arrived, Buddy fell completely silent. Then Moonface fired up the generator and suddenly police lights started flashing and sirens blared. That meant he didn't even spare the cops. His style of decorating is bizarre. His workshop is lit up with police lights and the house is filled with corpses. Creepy, right? Then he grabbed the driver, placed him on the table, drilled 2 holes into his skull, and took out his eyes. Watching all this, Ellen got scared. Maybe she was next. Still, she didn't lose her nerve. She cursed at Moonface, but he didn't react. He just signaled her to be quiet and went on decorating the driver's body. As soon as he stepped out, Buddy came to. Ellen started trying to free herself. Buddy pointed at her shoulder, drawing her attention to the blade stuck there. She used it to unlock her handcuffs and made a run for it. But then, double-faced Buddy started shouting that she was free. Turns out, he hadn't been tied up at all. It was a setup. He was trying to trap Ellen so Moonface would kill her too. Hearing the noise, Moonface rushed back, but Ellen was ready. She hit them both with a wooden plank. Buddy got knocked out, but Moonface grabbed Ellen again. That blade came in handy one more time. She stabbed Moonface and ran upstairs, where she found a small child's skeleton. That's when it hit her. Moonface had been killing entire families. Whether he's human or not, he's definitely a monster. Ellen tried to escape, but the door was locked. By now, Moonface had followed her up. She tried the window, but there was a deep pit outside. Then she thought, why should I be the one to fall? I'll throw him instead. As Moonface lunged at her, she hit him over the head with the child's skull and stabbed him multiple times with his own knife, then threw him out the window, but he managed to hang on to a bedsheet. Ellen didn't care. The sheet was slowly tearing. She looked him in the eye as if to say, who's helpless now? A moment later, the sheet ripped and Moonface fell into the pit. Ellen grabbed a gun, put on shoes and a belt from a dead body and headed to her car. The one who helped her survive all this? Bruce. But here comes the twist. She picked up her phone from the road, fixed her car, and started it up. Not to go home, but to dump Bruce's body. That's right, this was the real twist. Earlier, Ellen had told Bruce to stay away from her, but he got angry and attacked her. Ironically, the self-defense training Bruce had given her ended up being the reason for his death. She killed him with his own belt, and was on her way to get rid of his body when she stumbled into this nightmare. Turns out, this place was perfect for hiding the body with no one suspecting her. She took Bruce's body to Moonface's workshop, reassured her mom that she and Bruce were fine, and then, just like Moonface, she gouged out Bruce's eyes. Before leaving, she even shot Buddy and gave him the same stay quiet gesture Moonface used. On her way out, she decorated Bruce's corpse along the path and drove away. The episode ended with a close-up of her eyes. There's a monster inside everyone. Bruce, Moonface, Buddy, and now Ellen. In the end, Ellen became the new Moonface by repeating all his actions. Everyone thinks they're in the right, but they're a monster in someone else's story. Even killers wouldn't kill if they believed they were wrong. Perspective makes someone a hero or a villain. This 1-hour episode was intense and a real treat for Wrong Turn fans. More twisted and thrilling episodes are on the way, so if you liked our hard work, hit the like button and subscribe to The Chilling Hour. Thanks for watching.